When people talk about big data, are they just literally talking about the size of it?
No, I don't think so, and that's part of the problem with the term. And I think it doesn't do anybody any service. People don't like the term; they don't really sort of gravitate towards it. And it depends on your definition again. It's a bit like Internet of Things. Big data to me is a world where my sample size is n equals all. Right, that's big data.
Oh yeah.
So,
okay.
Right, and when n equals all, incredible things happen. Now, big data is not, moving my sample from 100 to 1,000. That's not big data, or to 1 million. It's a very, very different scale. But it's also, I'd argue, that big data is not necessarily just about the size of the data set. It's about how many data sets you've got and how they're connected, how quickly the data changes, so the velocity of the data. Those are all things that are implied in again, my definition of how big data offers value to organizations.
I think as well, the word big data puts off a lot of businesses because they think it's just for the Microsofts or the other similarly sized corporations who have the financial resources, the manpower, and who can hire from the best schools as well, so they can actually utilize it. What are some ways that normal businesses can leverage big data?
Well, I think that's a great question, and we certainly see that's something that's right on the forefront of many sort of customers' minds about, so what do we do with this stuff, right? We don't have access to the resources that you guys do. Well, there's a couple of things, right? So number one is understanding that everybody needs to understand the power of data.
You mean everybody?
I mean everybody.
Yeah.
I mean everybody in the organisation needs to have a basic sense of how data works and what data you need and how you use the results of the data.
So, when should when we talk about big data and people who can use it, we're talking about data analysts, data scientists, and I was always struggling with this. Is it data visualizers? Because that just sounds kind of, it sounds to me like I can make graphs in Excel. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and it also depends whether you spell it with an S or a Z, right? Because that makes all the difference. But no, there is a couple of things. You do need access to some resource, and it could be an employee or it could be something that you contract in, who's going to take ownership of your data strategy, who's going to have that entrepreneurial mindset about
what do you mean by entrepreneurial?
Do this? So I mean someone who is looking for new ways of using the data to deliver value, rather than I'm going to pick up the data from here and I'm going to make it look pretty in nice little columns. They're trying to kick the doors down about different ways of working, opening up new things. Like, what if we did this? What if we connected that to that? Having someone with that mindset is really, really crucial. But that doesn't need to be everybody. You just need to have someone who's thinking in that way, and then you equip the rest of the organisation in that. So visualization actually is pretty important, because for many people, we're visual creatures, right? So we relate to imagery much better than we do to words, and certainly tables and columns and all that sort of stuff. But it's not everything. So it's how do you show the data, what data is important. They're the skills that really start to play out.